Hey guys, DJ Benji here for round one of a competitive modern league. I'm playing Saheeli Titan and we're starting off match one on the draw. Here we have a hand, lots of lands, but no acceleration. It's a mulligan. This hand has an Amulet, which is pretty good, Ancient Stirrings to find more lands, and Teleria West, which can find me action later on. This extra land goes to the bottom. I'm pretty good on lands for right now. Looks like we could be playing against humans, which isn't so bad. Azusa is a really good card, but she's even better on turn 2 if I can get a bounce land. I could then drop the other lands, and if it's Simic Growth Chamber, which is the most common, 4 copies, I'd be able to use Teleria West to transmute it for a Summoner's Pact or something like that. Our opponent's putting up a pretty good clock here. Double Champion of the Parish is hard to beat. But this is pretty good too. I'm going to Ancient Stirrings here to look for a bounce land. Because the alternative would be playing Amulet of Vigor, and at this point an Amulet of Vigor won't be doing me any good. If I get a bounce land, I don't even know if I played at this point, but let's just spin the dice, see what we see. Teleria West, Slayer's Stronghold. Okay, well I don't need Slayer's Stronghold, so definitely taking Teleria West. I think we want to be in a position next turn to transmute. So if I play, a forest now, I can use my Teleria West next turn for double blue and transmute. And then, hopefully I'll be able to draw a bounce land and get out a Titan. And with double Amulet in play, I have 20 damage on the attack as long as my opponent doesn't have, say, a Path to Exile. So my opponent doesn't have any collected companies here, but they do have a Magus of the Moon. Okay, well, that's pretty unfortunate. Luckily, I have Azusa's for next turn and then Mountain, but it's really not that strong. Next turn, if I do draw Titan though, Teleria West can be tapped for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd have 6 mana. So that's not bad. Wow. Okay, so a pretty good draw from my opponent here. Let's see, attacking for 11, 12, 13, 14. I have to block, so blocking the biggest guy. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I could shoot down the Magus, but then I'm dying. So unlucky there. Opponent had a good start with Magus, pretty strong. Fire Spout comes in, Dismember comes in, Hornet Queen comes in. These relics are useless, they can come out. Cavern of Souls can come out. Ghost Quarter can go in. Ghost Quarter is useful for getting a basic if you need it. I need to shave 2 cards here. I might want to shave an Azusa. And one more card. Elder's good because it can get you something against a Blood Moon. Saheeli, leaving her in might be, you know, not the best. Maybe I'll take her out. Put Azusa back in. Let's try it like that. This hand's pretty solid. I can get a Hornet Queen down, hopefully pretty soon. With my bounce land, I'll be able to generate tons of mana. This is like a real strong hand. I just have to hope that my opponent doesn't have a quick, you know, birds into evolved, birds into something like an evolved Magus of the Moon. One of the cards they could play is Eldritch Evolution. Okay, so I don't have another bounce land, so I'm almost wondering, do I even play here? I'll play the Gruul Turf and bounce it itself. That should be okay. I can also play Tribe Scout and Colony Garden. And just pass the turn. Next turn I can get Hornet Queen down, which would be pretty strong. Okay. Let's go for it. Two, 4, 6, 8. And here I can play my Hornet Queen, go to attacks, and I can afford to trade those, so I'll go ahead and attack. My opponent doesn't have green mana here, so he can't even collect a company. But he can play a Mirran Crusader. Okay, that's fine. 3 drops. I have Azusa. I could otherwise Engineered Explosives for that. And I'm going to leave it unpopped because, okay, my opponent concedes. That went pretty well. Against Mirran Crusader, I really don't have very many answers. Just Walking Ballista and Engineered Explosives. One of the versions of this deck, instead of running Fire Spout, runs Kozilek's Return. And Kozilek's Return is colorless, so it's strong against that. It can kill Mirran Crusader. Here, you know, I have one of these hands where I have lots of interaction. I'm gonna keep it, try it out, hope to draw something good. Dismember, it's gonna be good for slowing them down. And then Fire Spout is great, except unless they have a Mirran Crusader. I think I'm gonna go ahead and dismember them right away to slow them down. I don't really have to play the Amulet of Vigor on turn 1. They don't have any discard, and you know, you could say, well, maybe I should hold on to it for Fire Spout, get more value off that, but I'm not sure if we really would have found that anyway. So If my opponent plays a Thalia, I can still Fire Spout through it. That's pretty solid. I can play that next turn, I believe. 3, 4, 5. No, I would need an extra turn for that. Here I can play Fire Spout. And I think that's just a safe play with a Primeval Titan in hand. I just should play safe. So here comes the Fire Spout. So maybe my opponent has a Magus. In that case, I play Vesuva, copying Forest, and then I can still play my Primeval Titan. Six damage a turn. That's pretty quick. Clock. Luckily, Azusa means I can play this turn a Primeval Titan. And since Mirran Crusader is so good, I'm going to have to get ready to get a Teleria West so I can tutor up Walking Ballista. And I'm wondering here if which one I bounce. If I bounce the Simic Growth Chamber, because next turn I'd be able to play it for 6, I'd be able to get more mana out of it. Or the Teleria West. I think since I have Vesuva, I can always copy Simic Growth Chamber and get a lot of mana out of it. So I don't necessarily have to worry about that. So I'll go ahead and bounce that. Wow, 8 damage is quite a lot. Okay. So here, I'm going to have to transmute. I'm going to do that first. Get myself a Walking Ballista. I have 2 more land drops. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can play it for 4. I'm wondering if I want to attack first. If I attack first, I can get 2 lands. Am I concerned about my opponent going wide? Let's see, he has 4 damage in first strike. He's got a lot of 2-drops, meaning I can Teleria West next turn for an Engineered Explosives on 2. He's got 1 card left. I just really need to get rid of this Mirran Crusader right now. Unfortunately, if I play this for 8, I would lose my creature, and then I would have to block. I would be taking, some damage. If I attack now, I could threaten the. I could threaten. Well, let's see. I could attack now and threaten. I can use the Dismember, but I still would need 4 damage. I need 8 mana for this. So let's get that done first because that's really important for us. So X equals 4. If I attack, I can still block. So maybe I don't need to kill it right now. Say I attack and I can give... I can threaten like the activation of the ballista. I don't know how good that is though. 2 damage to Mayor, 2 damage to Lieutenant, 4. I wonder if what happens if I attack here. His attack for 8 is definitely, you know, lethal, unblockable, except for the walking ballista. So he can't pump it. He can't protect it. You know, that would either of those would be killer. If I attack, I want to get, you know, since he's got all these 2 drops, the Teleria West, so that I can, you know, search up an EE next turn. Do I just leave it back on defense? I think leaving it back on defense might be the best thing to do. If he has Path or something like that, I kill this, I have 1 block, and I take 4. So it's not great. If I attack and I lose it, if he double blocks, that's fine, right? Because I can also gain life, but I don't want to gain life. What if I get, what if I gain life and I can either get a blocker, or I can get I think a blocker is better than gaining 2 life here. So I can attack, get a plant token, and get the blue Teleria West. I think that's safe. So Colony Garden here. Let's see how my opponent blocks. They don't block. Okay. So now I'm going to... Maybe I should pass the turn. This way I can block with Walking Ballista, do other things. This is going to pump the Lieutenant. Okay. Right. So maybe I want to leave the 2 drops. Let's see. I think I can block. I can take 2 here. Block, block. And then mow down the Crusader. I go to 3, I untap. I can attack and give double strike here. Is that worth it right now? I think so. Let's see what happens. Perhaps I should have transmuted up a... yeah, I probably misplayed here. I should have... Well, he would... If he had a path, he wouldn't have let me attack. So I'm going to get a... Boros Garrison and a Simic Growth Chamber. They come into play, they untap, and my opponent conceded. Oof, close one there. My opponent got a really fast start in game 1 with the Magus of the Moon. Game 2, I just had a really strong start with a quick Titan. And then game 3, you saw the deck take a more controlling route where I started with just Dismember and Fire Spout and was able to delay until I drew some good gas. So anyways, thanks for watching.